UFC Singapore, the Korean Zombie, and Max Holloway. Let's get straight into our predictions for the card. These are going to be our first set of predictions. Not going to go over anything super specific, just who we think will win and why. All right, we'll start off with the prelims, Sungwoo Choi and Jarno Aarons. I think the favorite Sungwoo Choi is going to win this fight simply because I don't think there's much that Jarno Aarons will do that could endanger Sungwoo Choi. Jarno Aarons fought William Gomes last. Got out-grappled by someone who is not a grappler. Sungwoo Choi is also not a grappler. But if this stays on the feet, I think Choi will have the power advantage, the speed advantage, and in general is just way more dangerous. I mean, he had that barn burner with Michael Trezano, where they both knocked each other down at the same time. That was really bizarre. Went to a split decision against Josh Cooleybow, who is not a bad fighter at all. Knocked out Julian Erosa, which everyone has, and then won a decision against Yusuf Zalal, which is not a bad one at all. So again, he's been in this game longer. I think he's just a better fighter in general, much more powerful, much quicker. There on the right, you can see the double knockdown. Crazy sequence of events right there. Yeah. Also, kind of irrelevant to this, but I can't believe Trezano got cut by the UFC after that fight. That's kind of ridiculous. Okay. Let's go into the next fight. Liang Na and JJ Aldrich. I'm being a minus 550 favorite in low-level women's MMA is kind of fucking ridiculous, to say the least. That being said, I think Aldrich is going to win. She's been in this game way longer. Liang Na has been knocked out twice in a row now against decent competition. I forgot the names of the fighters. Gomez Juarez and Carlosi. Yeah, I mean, decent fighters, but still knocked out twice in a row. Didn't in those fights while she was when she was not knocked out, still not doing too well. So I think JJ is taking this, but I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna bet on this fight, I don't know what else to do other than to tell you to take the plus 400 because minus 550 that's absurd. Okay, Billy Goff and Yusaku Kinoshita. I'm going to go with the underdog Billy Goff here. Billy Goff. He was on the Contender Series. I just... What gym does he fight out of? That's a good question. Actually, I have no idea who's going to win this fight. Again, this is a casual sports channel. I have no clue who's going to win this fight. I have seen this guy's fight. Who did he fight? Okay, he got knocked out by Fugit. Fugit's not horrible, honestly. But, yeah, I don't know who's going to win that. Song Kenan and Rolando Bedoya. This one I'm confident about. I know he's minus 300, but you can throw him in your parlays. Do what you want with it. Rolando Bedoya fought Chaos Williams last on short notice, I believe. And fighting Chaos Williams on short notice is scary. I mean, I would not fight Chaos Williams on short notice. I don't think you guys would either. But yeah, he held his ground. Lost a split decision, which I think he lost. But it was a very close fight. Chaos Williams throws hard, which can obviously... throw off the judges, but as you can see, I mean, look at this accuracy right here. Landed 150 of 210 strikes. I mean, that's almost a 70% clip. That is extremely impressive. And I mean, his chin stood the test to Chaos Williams, who we know is extremely powerful. So, and this guy's young. He's what, 26, 27? Let me check his profile. He's 26 years old. He's young. He's just going to get better. And he's fighting someone who I really don't think is that good. And I think that if Song Kenan did not have that knockdown on Ian Gary, this line would be even wider. I'm talking like minus 500-600. Because in that fight, he clipped Ian Gary. Okay. Yeah, he clipped him. That's one punch. It happens. Other than that, Ian Gary was piecing him apart almost as badly as he pieced apart Neil Magny. So I don't understand like why some people are taking Song Kenan in this, because I've heard people say they like him as an underdog. I really don't. I'm very confident Rolando Bedoya. Great output, as you can see, almost 10 significant strikes per minute. Can you expect that in this fight? Maybe not, but I'm confident he's going to win this fight, and I think it's going to be by knockout, because Song Kenan has been knocked out in the past. Next fight. This is a great fight. Chidi Njokuani against Mikhail Oleksichuk. I think that's how you pronounce it. Oleksichuk. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with Chidi Njokuani, and I'll explain this. Again, we know Oleksichuk is a great kickboxer. He's skilled. He beat he got subbed by Boral. I remember that. The Brundage fight was interesting. Got taken down in reverse position and just ground and pounded Brundage. So this guy is extremely powerful, very powerful. But in his fight against Dustin Jacoby, who's a great kickboxer, in this fight, Dustin Jacoby, something was like injured with his legs, and he said it in the post-fight interview, but he didn't like kick once. He two leg kicks. And he's a kickboxer. So he pieced up Oleksichuk without one of his main tools, you know? And it wasn't a particularly close fight either. It's not contested or anything like that. So that's what has me worried if I were going to pick Oleksichuk. And against someone like Chidi Njokuani, who's kind of a weight bully, let's be honest. I mean, I don't know how the hell this guy makes 185. I mean, just look at him. That's. I mean, and then again, if Oleksichuk wants to win this fight, he's gonna have to grapple. But I don't think his grappling is good enough to get Chidi on the ground and to keep him there. Again, 3-inch height advantage, 6-inch reach advantage. I mean, this guy's a fucking beast. He's so incredibly powerful. And I just don't think Oleksichuk is going to have the tools, physically to beat him. And the line has swung. I think Chidi was a favorite at one point. And now he's a slight underdog. But yeah, so I am going to take Chidi Njokuani to win this fight by knockout in the second round, probably. I know I said I didn't do specifics, but I really feel like there's a good chance of that happening. I think Mihail is going to get frustrated with his length and run into something he really shouldn't, maybe a straight right, something like that. All right, next fight. Toshiomi Kazama against Garrett Armfield. I think Garrett Armfield fought Onama on short notice, I believe. Yeah, okay, he fought Onama on short notice. It was a very short. It was like a week or something like that, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, but yeah. And then Kazama was on the road to the UFC. I remember this knockout. Yeah, I think Garrett Armfield is winning this fight. He is a I just think he. Oh shit! Cut that out, please, editor. I think I need to look at this again. I haven't seen that much. Okay, we're gonna cut this part out. We're still going to cut it out. Okay, we're going to resume now. Okay, Garrett Armfield. I think Garrett Armfield is winning this fight between Kazama and himself. And again, a big part of this is just he's fighting out a kill cliff. You know, his last fight against Onama was on very short notice against a very, very hyped up prospect. And I just think he's going to be better prepared for this. Kazama is like a lot of these Asian fighters or European fighters coming out of smaller gyms. I mean, I'm not an expert. Never heard of this place, though. Never heard of that place. Oh, shit. Yeah, never heard of that. And Kill Cliff is going to have Garrett Armfield well prepared. I mean, he's got all the training partners in the world. You know, I think he'll have a good game plan. Yeah. Gyms mean a lot. I'm taking Garrett Armfield on this. Waldo Cortez Acosta against Lucas Bresci. I'm going to go with a plus 210 underdog here, Lucas Bresci. I just don't think Cortez Acosta is that good. His striking is suspect. He throws a lot. That's about it. I mean, he beat Chase Sherman and Jared Vendera, who are both cut from the UFC now and were some of the worst heavyweights in the whole fucking organization. And Lucas loses to DeLima, which is DeLima's okay. He's just not that good. I mean, I get he's young and he's going to improve, but he's just not that good. He's supposed to be a boxer. His background is in boxing, but the way he throws fucking jumping hammer fists and just wild hooks all the time, and he doesn't know how to check a leg kick against Lucas Bresci, who by the way won this fight against Martin Buday. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. I mean, let's just pull this up real quick. I know numbers don't always show everything, but if you look at this, like there's no knockdowns either. So what the hell were the judges looking at? I have no clue. I mean, that this is probably the worst robbery in recent history in the UFC. I mean, I watched this fight. I had money on Buday, by the way. I mean, it was fucking ridiculous. I don't know how he won that. That was completely absurd and uncalled for. Horrible judging. He won this fight. It's a win against Martin Buday, who in his last fight looked relatively impressive against Josh Parisian. Yeah, he had the Kimura submission. So I think Bresci's going to win. I think he's going to chew up Cortez Acosta's legs because I don't think he knows how to check a leg kick. Chewing up his legs. Acosta's not going to be able to charge forward. I just think Lucas Bresci is a much more refined striker and a striker refined to the degree that Cortez Acosta has not faced before. Because, I mean, come on. Maybe DeLima, but he lost that fight. I think he's going to lose again. All right. We've made it past the prelims. Now we're going to the interesting fights. Junior Tafa against Parker Porter. I'm taking Parker the Piggy Porter for this fight. Reason being, I mean, we saw in the last fight, Junior Tafa fought Muhammad Usman. Very powerful guy. And was very, very aggressive wrestling. I think Parker Porter's winning this fight. I'm pretty sure Porter got knocked out by Junior's brother, Justin. Did he? Yeah, he did get knocked out by Justin. Justin and Junior are not the same person. Justin's been in this game a lot longer. Junior Tafa, I don't think, is going to be able to defend a takedown. And Parker Porter in his last fight when he fought Braxton Smith, a big power puncher, did look a lot better. He lost some weight. He's not weighing it in the heavyweight limit anymore, which is good to see. He's a little faster. His stamina looked all right. And he won that fight because Braxton Smith gassed in 2.5 minutes. I mean, I don't know how you fight for a living and gas out in 2.5 minutes. I would think that that's something you work on. But anyways, he won that fight, took advantage of the situation. And the reason I think he's going to win this fight is because Junior Tafa, he's a kickboxer. I don't think he's an MMA fighter. Not yet. If it stays on the feet, yeah, Junior's probably going to knock Parker Porter out. Is it going to stay on the feet? I don't think so. I think Porter's smart enough to know to go for takedowns, get in the clinch, close distance. You know, I mean, both these guys should not be heavyweights. Let's just make that clear. But I think Parker Porter is going to win this fight and think he's going to get a takedown and just wet blanket, a little bit of ground and pound. I don't think he's subbing Junior Tafa, but I think he's going to win this fight pretty comfortably. Aaron Blanchfield against Taila Santos. I've been back and forth on this fight. I'm leaning towards Blanchfield just because of the incredible grappling. But again, Taila Santos arguably beat Valentina Shevchenko. I don't think she did, but very, very close fight anyways, against someone who at the time looked completely unbeatable. So, I don't know. But Erin Blanchfield, young, getting better, but I just worry about the level of competition she's faced, you know? Jessica Andrade, it's Jessica Andrade. Subbed her, okay. I mean, she's a power puncher, but got knocked out by Yan Xiaonan, and then, dominated by Tatiana Suarez, also extremely high-level grappler, but I just don't think she can't defend takedowns, so good win, but somewhat expected. Molly McCann, I mean, this was, looking back at it, mismatch of the century. JJ Aldrich, who's been in the game for a while, not that good. Miranda Maverick, again, she was an underdog in this fight. This was before we knew how good her grappling really was, but dominated that fight. Not much else to say. So, I mean, good wins, obviously, but level of competition, compare that to Taila Santos. I mean, look at who she's fought. Valentina Shevchenko, very good kickboxer in Joanne Wood. Roxanne Modafferi, okay, maybe not as good. She fought Molly McCann too? Okay, I didn't know that. Anyways, but again, her performance against Shevchenko is what has me worried. But I just think Erin Blanchfield, again, if it's a striker versus grappler matchup for the most part, I understand Taila Santos has a decent ground game, but it's there's levels to it, and I'm always going to go with the grappler. So in this, for now, I might change my mind. I'm going to go with Erin Blanchfield. Rinya Nakamura against Fernie Garcia, I think is bigger. Yeah, okay. Biggest favorite of the card, and a card with a lot of big favorites. Fernie Garcia is not that good. He has Saif Saud yelling at him every single fight, I believe. Yeah, he has Saif Saud yelling at him very loudly in every single fight. I don't think he's that good. Rinya Nakamura, I mean, knocks out Kazama. Well, yeah, this guy with like one punch. Incredible power for 135 pound weight division. He's young. He's going to get better. And Fernie Garcia I don't think poses any real threat to him. I mean, not on the ground, not on the feet. I don't see a single area where Fernie Garcia has the edge. I mean, none. Not physical, not skill-wise, nowhere. So Rinya Nakamura is going to win this fight. But at minus 800, I don't know what that's going to do for you. All right. Giga Chikadze against Alex Caceres. I mean, I've been picking a lot of favorites. A couple underdogs, Parker Porter and such, and Bresky. But I'm going to go with Giga in this fight. He hasn't fought for a while. What's it been, 2 years at this point? Let's check. Over a year and 2/3, something like that. Coming off the loss to Calvin Kattar, where you got absolutely pieced up. People remember that. But again, we know how good of a kickboxer Giga is. Wins against Edson Barbosa, Cub Swanson 2 years ago, where Cub Swanson was in better condition. Again, this fight against Omar Morales. So, I mean, he's faced pretty decent level of competition, and, he was very hyped up coming into the UFC, and then kind of got derailed by that Calvin Kattar fight. But I don't think Alex Caceres is a Calvin Kattar, okay? Alex Caceres is not a bad fighter. He can do a little bit of everything, mix up the wrestling, got decent striking, unpredictable, very athletic, extremely athletic. That's not going to beat Giga. I think Giga is going to piece him up. I could see this being a relatively boring fight, especially coming off a long layoff for Giga. But I think he's going to win this fight. I think he's a better striker. I think in terms of grappling, he'll have good enough takedown defense, hopefully, to stop the fight from getting to the ground. And he has the tools to win this fight. And that's all I have to say. I think Giga's winning that. Anthony Smith and Ryan Spann. Okay, the lines have shifted since I last looked at this. Last time I looked at this, it was even. But, I'm going with Ryan Spann for this. Anthony Smith is just, he's taken a lot of damage. I just don't see. The only person that can stop Ryan Spann from winning this fight is Ryan Spann. That's what I'm worried about. Sub against Krylov, I'm pretty sure Spann, like, it was like a reversal, and Spann kind of just fed him his neck. I mean, let's hope. If Spann trained for this fight, like he said he started doing against his performance against Dominic Reyes, he will win. If he fights with any kind of IQ, he will win. He has the physical tools. He has the skills. His striking is crisp and it's incredibly powerful against someone like Anthony Smith, who's taken so much damage in his career. I'm not confident in his chin. We saw Anthony Smith get pieced up by Johnny Walker, who, after halfway through the second round, really didn't look like he was trying Johnny Walker. He was just kicking the legs, kind of flowing around. Anthony Smith, that conversation mid-fight was, I feel bad for Anthony Smith, but when he was talking about, you hurt my family or whatever like that. I can't see how Anthony Smith wins this fight unless Ryan Spann does something really stupid. And I'm willing to bet on Ryan Spann not doing anything really stupid. So I'm going to go with Ryan Spann for this. Now, the main event, ladies and gentlemen, Max Holloway against the Korean Zombie. Why did the UFC do this to TKZ? I mean, why? Why did they have to do this? After the Volk fight? I mean, really? Max Holloway's winning this, and I think he's gonna win by technical knockout. Maybe doctor stoppage, same way that Volk did. It's sad to see TKZ get set up like this. I mean, I don't think Max Holloway is going to get taken down by him, and if it stays on the feet, we all know what's going to happen. Let's be realistic here. I really hope he doesn't get too much brain damage. So I'm going with Max Holloway knockout, probably late in the fight, fourth round. I don't think I'm not even talking about who's winning this fight at this point. I'm talking about when it's going to end for TKZ. Probably later in the fight. I mean, just the amount of... we saw what happened against Calvin Kattar, and Max Holloway fought him. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I could see it going very similarly to how the Volk fight did. So, Max Holloway by late knockout, unfortunately. I love both these guys, but it's not an even matchup. I don't think it's that great of matchmaking. I'm pretty sure they both called for each other. Did they call each other out, or did one call the other out? I don't know. But they wanted this to happen, so can't really blame the UFC, I guess, at the end of it. But stay tuned. Later in the week, we will go over some DraftKings lineups for DFS. We'll build them together, weigh our options, see what we can do in a week where, the pricing is all over the place. Not many quote-unquote even fights. So we'll work through that. And, thanks for staying, guys, for some more casual sports takes. And looking forward to the event. See you later.